right, guys, so this is going to be the Unit 9, sorry, it says 8, the Unit 9 test correction video. So if you are interested in that, make sure you pay attention and we'll do this. So the cone and its dimensions are shown in the diagram. The measurement is the closest, which measurement is closest to the volume of the cone in inches. So if I look at my formula chart, it says V equals 1/3 big B H. And remember, the big B represents area of the base. So the shape of the base is a circle, so I'm going to draw a circle. And then here, I know that the formula for area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay. Then in the front, I put 1/3 H. So that's the formula I'm going to be working with. Now I got to label the part. So I see that the height is going to be H equals 10 3/8. And the diameter is going to be 6.5. So if my diameter is 6.5, I know I need to have my radius be half of that, which is going to be 3.25. Okay? So now that I have it, I can plug this in my formula, which is V equals 1/3 pi, and then we do parentheses 3.25 squared, and then I have my height here, which is going to be 10 3/8. So I'm going to grab my calculator. I'm going to type this exactly how I wrote it. I know the handwriting isn't the best on the computer, so thank you for being patient. I'm going to do alpha x 1/3, and then I'm going to do pi, which is going to be second cat ear, and then I do parentheses 3.25, close the parentheses, squared, and then I'm going to do alpha x to get the fraction. Oh no, I messed up. I have to start over. Whoops, alpha x. So one thing I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to see what this is as a decimal, because I don't feel like putting that in as a fraction. I can, but I don't feel like doing it. So I know that this is going to be 10.375. I'm going to write that down, and that's what I'm going to use as my height instead of this. Okay. Now that I have that, I'm going to retype this in. So I'm going to do alpha x 1/3. I'm going to do second cat ear, and then I'm going to do parentheses 3.25, close the parentheses, squared, and then I'm going to do 10.375. I'm going to press enter. And I see I have a volume of 114. So I know that my answer here is going to be A. Okay, make sure you guys write this down on your paper just like this if you want full credit. All right, and now I'm going to move on to the next question. All right, here we have select the value from the best. Select the value from the menu that best completes the sentence. Okay, so this is a tricky question. I definitely thought this was one of the harder questions, but I'm going to definitely go through it with you so you understand. It's a rectangular prism, so I'm going to draw a prism. Looks something like that. So that I have an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. It's always good to draw a picture, especially when you get to high level math. It's always best to draw a picture. Even if you're not the best artist, just draw something. All right. The rectangular prism has a total surface area. So I know the total surface area is 64. So I know I need to get my total surface area formula, which is S equals PH plus 2B. Remember, P represents perimeter of the base, H is the height of the prism, and big B is the area of the base. The base of the prism has an area of 16. So I already know two things. Okay, I'm going to put this in blue. I know that the total surface area is 64, And the area of the base, which is big B, is going to be 16. Okay, so I know those two things. So I know I could put this in parentheses. I can put 2 in front of here. I can put the equal sign here. Now, since I know that the area is 16 and it's a perfect square, I'm going to have to get the square root of 16 to find my side lengths. Okay? So to do that, I'm going to grab my calculator. You should probably have these memorized, but if you don't, it's okay. The calculator can help. I'm going to do second x squared 16, enter, and you get 4. So now I can put 4 here, 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 and here. 4 times 4 is 16, and all these 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 also equals 16. Look at that. So I can put 16 as a perimeter of the base, and then all we need to do now is find the height. I'm going to put this in blue. Well, I'm just going to leave it like that. We're finding the height. So now we just have to, sorry about that. We just have to solve the equation. So I know 2 times 16 is 32, so I'm going to put plus 32 here. If you don't know that, use a calculator. And I know this is going to be 16h here, and equals 64. Okay, then here, I'm going to box my variable, which is here, and I'm going to subtract 32 from both sides. And I know 64 minus 32 is going to give me 32. And then that's going to equals 16h. You divide both sides by 16. And 32 divided by 16 is 2. So your answer for the height would have been 2. Okay. You could also done a guess and check, but I just solved the equation. All right, this next one, a lot of people got this one right, but if you didn't, it's okay. I'm here for you. So the calculation shows the volume in cubic inches of a cylinder below. Okay, so we have to do the volume here. So we know that formula for volume is V equals big BH. And the big B represents area of the base, and the shape of the base is a circle. So I'm going to draw a circle around it. And I know the formula for area of a circle is going to be pi r squared. And then we have the height. And I know that equals volume. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. So I can also cross out this one and this one because it doesn't have the square here. Now we can have our dimensions. So my height is 12 and my diameter is 8. So if my diameter is 8, my radius is going to be 4. Okay, so I need to write pi, parentheses, 4 squared, and then the height as 12. So the only one that fits that is going to be D. Okay, next. All right. Drag and drop the correct answer choice. Answer choice to each answer bank. So the total surface area. So now we have to draw a picture. So I'm going to read this. Okay. Joel has a storage cabinet with a length of 3, a width of 2, and a height of 8. Okay. The total surface area of the cabinet. So it doesn't tell me if it's a rectangular prism, but I'm pretty sure it's a rectangular prism because it has these 3 dimensions. So that's one thing I don't like about this question. This was another really difficult one, but it's okay. I'm here for you. So here we have a rectangular prism. And I'm just going to label the points on this rectangular prism that I'm drawing. So it tells me I have a length of 3. So I'm going to have this as a length. I have a width of 2. This is the 2. And then I have a height of 8. Okay, so now it's saying what's the total surface area. So I know the formula for surface area is S equals PH plus 2b. And P represents perimeter of the base. And there's 4 sides to the base. So I'm going to do S equals, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to add all 4 of those sides. That's going to be 2, 3, 2, 3. So those are all the sides of our base. Our height is 8. And then plus 2. And then the area of the base is going to be 2 times 3, which is 6. Okay? Now, I'm just going to do this by hand. If you want to type this in the calculator, feel free to. I know this is going to be 10. It's going to be 8. And then 2 times 6 is 12. 80. Plus 12 is 92. So I know that my total surface area is 92. And now it says Joey is going to paint all the sides of the storage cabinet except for the top and bottom. So that lets me know this is lateral surface area. And the formula for lateral surface area is simply S equals PH. So if I want to be lazy, which I do, I am just going to cross out this part of the equation, and I see that my lateral surface area would be 80. Okay, because it's just S equals PH. We have PH here, the perimeter of the base times height. Perimeter of the base is 10, the height is 8, and 10 times 8 is 80. All right, question 5 here. Chase's mom buys a canned tuna for lunch. The cans are shaped of a cylinder with the dimensions below. What is the volume of the can of tuna? So I know that volume is V equals big B times H. And the big B represents area of the base. So I know it's going to be V equals pi r squared and my height. Okay. So I have my dimensions. My dimensions is 3.75. My height is 1.25. And we're going to put that here. So I have V equals pi. My radius, I don't have my radius, so I have to find that. I got to get half of 3.75. So I'm going to take 3.75 divided by 2, and I know my radius is going to be 1.875. So I'm going to put that R equals 1.875. Okay. Now I can plug that in here. And I know my radius is going to be 1.875 squared, and my height is going to be 1.25. Okay, I'm going to type that in my calculator, and I'm going to do second pi parentheses 1.875 close in parentheses squared. And then I'm going to put 1.25, enter, and I get this answer. So it says rounded to the nearest tenth. Sorry, I was reading that in my head. What is the volume of the can of tuna rounded to the nearest tenth? That's where most people messed up. And it would have just been 13.8. That's all they wanted you to put. All right. Next question. We have 6, and it says the dimensions of the 3 cylinders are shown below. Which cylinder has the least lateral surface area? So remember, lateral surface area for a cylinder is S equals 2 pi RH. That's what they gave us on our formula sheet, so that's what I'm going to use. So I know that the dimensions for cylinder A, I'm going to put them here. The diameter is 3. That means my radius is 1.5. And my height is 2. I'm so sorry. All right, so I'm going to do S equals 2.
Sorry, teachers and students, for this interruption. Students, when the bell rings, being lunch will be dismissed to go to lunch. Thank you.
So I just wrote that, and I'm going to type the answer in. So I'm just going to do 2 second pi parentheses 1.5 close the parentheses, and I'm going to put 2 as a height. And we have the lateral surface area for this one being 18.8. So I'm going to put that down here. 18.8. Now we're going to do this one. So I have my diameter as 1. So that means my radius is going to be 0.5. And I have my height, which is 9. So I'm going to put this in my calculator. I'm going to do this with the blue and put B for blue. This one's going to be orange. And I'm going to do S equals 2 pi. And we're going to have 0.5 here. And then this is going to have 9. So here, I'm going to type this in my calculator. And I'm going to do 2 second cat ear parentheses 0.5 closing parentheses 9 enter, and I get 28.274. So I'm going to write that down. 28.3. I'm going to round it to the nearest tenth. Now this one I already have my radius. So my radius is 1 and my height is 6. So there's nothing else I need to get. And then this is going to be green. I'm going to put G for green. I'm going to do S equals 2 pi parentheses 1. And then we have our height, which is 6. And I'm going to type that in my calculator. So I'm going to grab my calculator and I'm going to do 2 second pi parentheses 1, close the parentheses, and then I'm going to put 6. Enter, and I have 37. So I'm going to put that 37.7. So it says, which has the least lateral surface area, so it would have been A. All right. All right. Roger needs a bowl that will hold 2 gallons of punch for his recipe. He has a bowl that is the shape of half a sphere. The diameter is 12, so this is a hemisphere. So I have to do volume of a sphere divided by 2. So I'm going to write that formula down. V equals 4/3 pi r cubed. And then you cannot forget, because it's a hemisphere, you got to divide this whole thing by 2. Okay, so I know here that I have my diameter and I need to put in my radius. So my diameter is 12, so that makes my radius 6. So now I'm going to do 4/3 pi, and I'm going to do 6 cubed. Okay, I'm going to start there first. So I'm going to grab my calculator and I'm going to do alpha x 4/3. And then I'm going to do second cat ear pi. And then we're going to do 6 to the 3rd power. Enter. And then after that, I have to divide it by 2 because it's a hemisphere. So we divide by 2. And now we have 452. So it says, what is the volume in cubic inches? Oh, and it said use 3.14 instead of pi. That's where we made a mistake. I made it 2, guys. So I have to go back in and I have to redo my math. So I'm going to do alpha x, 4 over 3. I'm going to do parentheses, 3.14, close the parentheses, and then we're doing 6 to the third power. Okay, press enter. And after that, we divide it by 2. And you see we get 452. So it really shouldn't have made a difference in your answer, but if it did, that's okay. So your answer should have been 452. Okay, so that's where that is. All right, now, next. Last question. We have 8, and 8 is the right triangular prism is shown below. What is the total surface area of the prism? So the first thing I noticed, my base is missing a side. And these are my 2 smaller legs, and this is my hypotenuse. So I know I'm going to have to do 3 squared plus 4 squared, put under the house, and I have to get my missing side. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do alpha x, 3 squared plus 4 squared, enter, and we get 5. So we're going to put 5 here. Okay. So now for total surface area, I have my formula, which is S equals PH plus 2B. Okay. I know that my perimeter of my base has 3 sides. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, which is 3, 4, and 5. My height is 6.5, and then plus 2, and then my base is going to be 3 times 2 divided by 2. Okay, so I'm going to put that 3, if I can fit it, 3 times 2 divided by 2 over here. So hopefully you guys can see that in this corner. So now I'm gonna do the math in my head. You don't have to. I type this in your calculator, it'll come up. So it's gonna be S equals 12. 12 is my perimeter times 6.5. And I know that 3 times 4, this was before, sorry. 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. So I'm going to do 2, 6. Okay, so 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. Now I know this is going to be plus 12, 12 point times 6.5, and this is what I'm going to type in my calculator. And you don't have to do it like Mrs. Galvan. You can type this whole thing in your calculator and you'll get the answer. But I'm a little different, so that's how I did it. So I did 12 parentheses 6.5 plus 12, enter, and I get my total surface area, which is 90. So my answer would have been D. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope this helps. Make sure you get the test corrections done, and have a great weekend. Bye.